and welcome back to another anime episode review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hey, everyone.
I am maxing and relaxing right now, Kyle. Can you believe it?
Maxing, relaxing at 120%. Same here.
120% of my maxation and relaxation, because we just finished hit show Sorcery Fight second season, episode 20 subbed, Right and Wrong Part 3. Am I right?
You are right. You're in fact correct.
I love Sorcery Fight. It's my favorite series in the entire world. This was a pretty good episode. I say that at like the beginning of every episode, and then I point it out because I think that is funny to do. So Kyle, with Shield Hero, I went first. And we just recorded that tonight on this lovely October 3rd in Seattle, Washington, where we live. What were your thoughts on this episode?
Oh, they did an absolute fantastic job with the adaptation of this content. I mean, there were so many scenes that I just watched. Like,
That you watched? Dude, I watched a ton of scenes too. That's crazy, bro.
It's late, but I'm going to try my best to articulate what I'm saying. When I was watching some of the scenes, like, you know how sometimes you're watching something and you're thinking to yourself, like, oh my god, this is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that. A lot of goosebumps isn't the right word, but you know, like you. That's
Why isn't goosebumps the right word?
Well,
Sounds
you know,
like to me.
fuck it. Yeah, it was goosebumps. It brought about like interesting sensations. It was like, this was great.
Please do not say interesting sensation. I am begging you to not say interesting sensations. I'm begging you, Kyle, to reword that.
Please rephrase.
Okay,
as I just said, it is late. I know this episode was good. They brought our boy Todo in, and everyone loves Todo. Everyone loves Todo.
I hate him. That's a
You
lie.
take that back.
That's a lie. I can't keep that up.
Yeah, that bit can't go past 2 seconds.
Yeah, I can't.
I cannot
tell a lie. I'm like George Washington or whatever his name was.
One of the best characters with one of the best powers in one of the best fights. Pretty good.
I mean, I'd call this the second best fight in Jujutsu Kaisen, easily. Also, spoilers for the manga, because we're caught up and we're going to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly we'll reference it, but yeah.
With number one, I guess. Number one's being when they fought the inverse guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. No, number one is the fight. Wasn't there like a part earlier in this fight where like Mahito fought Yuji, and was there someone else? I know Nanami. I feel like there was someone in between the two though.
The one that two niche micro internet celebrities may or may not have slandered for.
They may not have slandered, dude. We would never slander anyone, bro.
For an amount of time.
We would never slander anyone, honestly.
I thought, getting right into the episode, I thought that they handled that pretty well in a sort of dark, humorous kind of way, where they showed some flashback of the three of them hanging out, Megami, Nobara, and Yuji, and it was Nobara's duty to, give the shirt to Gojo, and they spilt on it, or she spilt on it, and then, they goofed around for a little bit, and they tried, like, fixing it, and then Gojo walks in, it's like, oh, ha, everyone's laughing and fun, and it just dead cuts to Nobara, like, lying
dead.
there.
Hilarious.
Yeah, basically dead. It dead cuts to her dead.
She's dead. She's not coming back. We talked about this.
Yeah, either she stays dead, and it's like, oh, okay, or she comes back, and it's also, oh, okay. But yeah, she's just dead, essentially.
I loved the cut. We both died whenever it happened. So did she. That's crazy.
And then Yuji almost died because Mahito landed a black flash.
Sick moment, by the way.
That's such a good moment. I also like him. All right, I'll say it. I'm usually not a fan of when a character, the whole thing of like, I am you, you're me. Please don't, Brandon. Please don't.
Don't worry. No, I'm done. I was too tired to think of the brain rot before you begged me not to. So you're safe. You're safe now. You're safe for now.
So usually I'm not a fan of that concept. It feels like whenever there's less nuance to it when a character just drops it. But I think with Mahito it works in how he explains it. Like sorcerers and cursed spirits, they are essentially two sides of the same coin here, both fighting for what they believe in to be right. And I love when he's like, "Have you counted how many cursed spirits you killed?" And then Yuji's just, he's just he's the bronze jade is or whoever with like sitting there with like the mouth.
That is his name, dude. Oh, my favorite basketball player. I love that guy. He won the in-season tournament, bro. His Mickey Mouse ring is now not his most funniest accomplishment.
Oh wow. But anyway, with him just sitting there kind of like deadpan and just kind of blankly staring off or whatever, Mahito responds like, "Yeah, I haven't counted how many humans I killed either." Like it's a good parallel.
Yeah, because I think that it works especially well because this, the cursed spirit family, whatever you want to call them, right? Hanami, Jogo, Dagon, and
the disaster
Mahito.
spirits.
Yeah, their whole thing was like, they wanted to make the earth or curses.
They wanted to be the new people. They wanted to be like the new dominant species.
So I think then that works even better as a comparison. Because Yuji and like us as human, don't think anything about eliminating cursed spirits. They just have to. They're just they're beings opposed to their existence. Humans are the exact same thing to cursed spirits. Now, obviously as a human, I'm a little bit biased, but curses are, kind of evil and need to be killed. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to be sexist here. But I still think that Mahito's perspective of it, like, to say correct, I mean, I'd say correct. I'd say he's right.
He's correct in that he and Yuji are essentially one and the same on opposite ends of the fight here.
Yeah.
I mean, I could very easily see Yuji being like a cursed spirit and then being like, "Oh, okay, gotta fight humans." Like, he could have... his soul or whatever could have easily ended up on the opposite side of this. I see a world too where Mahito came into the world as like a human sorcerer and was fighting on their side. Like you could easily swap them around and kind of see how they would work in each other's shoes, and that fits really well.
Yeah, no, I love Yuji and Mahito, both as characters. I mean, obviously, I think Shibuya is it's, obviously the most character development Yuji's been through, but I think also like the shining moments of his character. Obviously he has some great moments later, like especially, against Chiguruma and...
Yeah, I called her mommy.
Yeah, I called her mommy. I'm not lying or trying to deny it. He fights Chiguruma later. He does that. And then he does some other stuff probably. But, I think Shibuya is where we really get to see his character shine. Especially, and I think part of the reason is, honestly, the most reason for that is because of Mahito. And not just what Mahito does with killing Nanami and killing Nobara, but because of what Mahito represents and what he represents with Yuji.
And how they interact with each other and bounce off each other.
Yeah, that and just the writing, like the plain pen on paper writing of the two of them is just extremely fun.
It's weird kind of seeing like Mahito become more human-like as the fight progresses. Like he's landing black flashes and Yuji becomes
I remember
more...
it's still like that's weird. It's like, what it's like? It's like so don't say anything, so you're farther than I am.
Okay.
But like it's kind of like blurring the lines between them, kind of like how Bleach spoilers for Eren Carr. Kind of like how you have Soul Reapers that have Hollow powers and Hollows that have Zanpakuto and Soul Reaper powers. It's like blurring the lines so much where it's like they're basically the same being. They just got there separate ways. And like that is super, super cool to me. Whenever you can like look at the protagonists and the antagonists and be like they're the same, but like, you can look at like JoJo's and be like, oh, well, they're all humans mainly, and be like, oh, they're all the same. Like, no, not like that. But it's like, because like Yuji and them, like, they're like not really human. They're Jujutsu sorcerers that gives them superhuman abilities. But Mahito, I mean, he's a cursed spirit, but you know, is he? You know, they're transcending towards the same path ultimately, and that's cool. And he gets his own domain, and I think you can really see like how blurred the lines can become with Sukuna, where he's human. Sukuna is 100% human.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I think that that's really cool. I really, really like that.
And the same, to add on what you're saying, with him saying like Yuji, like we aren't just two kids on the playground. Like this is a clash, like a war of our ideals. It's do or die time.
Yeah, he's like this is gonna decide the future of who rules the earth. He doesn't know that Kenny's cooking in the background. He doesn't know that Kenny's taking back shots in the background, right? He doesn't know that Yuta's about to return from his one-way flight to Africa, right?
With impressive speed feats.
Dude, with the most impressive speed feats. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. I mean, honestly, though, Mahito lives Shibuya and continues on. The only two people who can kill him are Sukuna and Gojo. And that's just because Sukuna and Gojo are in a league all their own.
Yeah, that's unfair. Coughing, well, not Coughing Baby. I was gonna say Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb, but yeah. So anyway,
maybe Maharaga. I don't know. Maharaga versus Mahito would be an interesting matchup, but
yeah. Anyway, after that happens, Mahito, he starts pummeling Yuji, and he goes for the killing blow when he is suddenly teleported away, as we hear narration from Todo entering the fray. I forget exactly what he says, but he basically is saying like,
here, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. And by pull it up, I mean reference the volume, because I have it right here.
Yeah.
That's Nobura's death. Mahito hitting the black flash. Here he is, the man himself. And he claps and he goes, "The sound of the Gaian Shoujo bells echoes the impermanence of all things. The color of the Salaflowers reveals the truth that the prosperous must decline. However, we are the exception." I would say another thing about this episode and like the adaptation of it. There's so many times because I know this is my favorite part of Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Second favorite, I don't know. It's a tough call between this and Gojo versus Sukuna, because I love Gojo versus Sukuna. But like I know these panels. There are so many times where it's just like it's a 1-to-1. Like literally the 120% like spread in the anime. Like that is just the panel. It's not the redrawn panel. Like it is just the panel colored. Like the lines are the exact same as in the manga. Like they traced over it.
That's a cool homage to it.
Dude, it's awesome. I need to add that as like one of my wallpapers on my computer. I have a Gojo versus Sukuna one I should show you after this, but that's beside the point. Todo makes his entrance and it's pretty baller.
And the music playing.
Oh. I love Todo. I mean, at the time, so my favorite character, I think I said this on recording. First it was Nanami, then he died, then it was Todo. Then Todo got written out of the story like Nobura, which is, sad. I kind of tried to forget that, because I do kind of hold that against Greg, because you gotta keep the goat in, man. Can't take the goat out like that, but
it's a whole nother discussion.
Written out of the story. So then Hikari kind of became my favorite character, and now it's the goat. It's the goat himself. But I love Todo so much. I think we've talked about him before, and his power, the Boogie Woogie.
It is the Boogie Woogie. I think represents like what I love about just shonen powers. I mean, it's one of my favorites. I don't know why it resonates with me so much, but just such a simple power that works so, even as Mahito says, like, even when you understand it, like, it's still this disorientating fighting against it. It's
it's sick.
The applications, and I love it. So after that, Todo starts fighting him for a little bit as Yuji, he's getting healed up by I forget the guy's name, but he did.
Mita.
He does the little star thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your current wounds, well, like they're okay. New wounds aren't though." And I did the same thing to the girl over there, and then he's like, just so you know, she's not 100% dead. There's a sliver of a chance that she's alive."
Greg, you absolute madman, Greg. Please keep the Nobara fans up in Copium. It will. To be fair, it will never not be funny to see before any chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen people on Twitter being like, "Nobara return, Gojo shirtless," making me come back.
Those three things
will never not be funny to see that. Nobara's not coming back. We've talked about this. We've talked about this. We've touched on this. Let's just get into the fight.
So anyway, after that, Todo he gives
check out
you
last episode.
What?
I said check out last episode.
Oh yeah.
Like to our viewers.
Yeah. Todo gives Yuji a really good speech about how, like, we're Jujutsu Sorcerers. We have to keep on moving on. Like, don't try to look for meaning in their death to don't desecrate like the sacrifices that they've made. Just keep pushing forward and look for the answer along the way. It's kind of like it's kind of like a mixed speech of, like, you know, keep moving forward, suppress it for now, look for answers later. Right now, you know, don't blame yourself. This isn't like about sin and punishment. This is just about, like, following the paths that we are taking.
Yeah,
here.
he's like, you know, as Jujutsu Sorcerers, he's like, you don't need to worry about, like, if they cursed you, or you don't need to think about, like, what you have to do to avenge them, or do you deserve this. He said, we're Jujutsu Sorcerers. He says you can't think that. He's like that kind of punishment isn't levied on us. Those rules don't apply to us. Like, the one punishment that we take as Jujutsu Sorcerers is we have to keep moving forward. That's the one punishment. He said, you don't have to find meaning in their deaths. He said, you don't have to desecrate it. He said, think about, what did they leave with you? We have to keep moving forward. That's what being a Jujutsu Sorcerer is. I love it. I mean, what you call it, bro? Like, okay, so I know, and talking about, like, the fight itself, oh wow, pretty animation, cool set pieces, we can't mention literally every thing of action that happens. It's cool, it's awesome, it's sick. I love it very, very much. It was adapted extremely well. The animation is sick. Shout out to the animators at Mappa, not to Mappa itself. Go check out, we did a video on that too, go check that out. Shout out to all of them, that's sick. Just like the writing, like pen on paper writing of this arc, and especially this section right here, is so good.
It's weird because I feel like I do want to call it my favorite shonen arc because, okay, spoilers for some other stuff, right? Chimera Ant of Hunter x Hunter and Marineford at One Piece, like, those are up there, but just something about Shibuya and, like, what it does for JJK, like, it's probably my favorite. I can't even say traditional shonen arc. It's definitely my top 3. It's
I might call it my favorite, honestly.
It's, you know what? I'll stay in with you.
Because, like, I love Marineford for the reason of its epic, grand storytelling, right? Big narratives going on, this and that, and you have some emotional moments, right? It's great. It's phenomenal. I'm not going to underplay it. And Chimera Ant, I think, really hits in some of the later fights. And hits on some good character moments, and has definitely a negative. Putting my opinion of Akaugo lightly, definitely a negative.
No, you love him. You love the funny Scrunglow.
Oh, that is not true. That is incorrect, actually. Little scrungly bingus. I'm not a fan, and that's putting it unnaturally lightly. But with Chimera Ant, you have grand, overarching themes that are present throughout it of, who are the real monsters, what is humanity, what is the nature of humanity, and all of that is executed on really, really well. However, for me personally, like,
It feels very detached from the main story of Hunter x
It's
Hunter.
very detached from Hunter x Hunter.
It's still really good. It's up there.
And the themes, are good, and I think come across pretty well. But it's like, it also, to say like is simple, I guess. I don't know. It just it doesn't feel like specific to Hunter x Hunter, and just the arc around it. I do have some problems with Chimera Ant personally.
All right,
I think Shibuya for me is like the perfect mixture of like the grand storytelling and epic fights and serious character moments of Marineford, mixed with the higher overarching themes and the grandioseness of the ultimate message, and like deeper meaning than just telling a really, really good story, and trying to get like a message and a theme across. It's like the perfect marriage of those for me.
It is the perfect storm.
And I don't mean to discredit Chimera Ant by any means, but like whenever you get to my top 3 shonen arcs, you gotta find what you gotta find.
Yeah. It's like, two goats can exist at once. In this case, I would also say, right, I feel like Chimera Ant it feels so detached from Hunter x Hunter itself. Like it's still one of my favorites.
It feels like a side mission. Like that. I mean, that's weird to say, but it feels like a side mission.
And I don't even mean that as like a backhanded insult.
Yeah, no, I mean that's just what it feels like.
And like with Marineford, no like big spoilers there, but it's just like it also feels very detached from everything else. What?
I mean,
not detached. Okay.
I don't know if I think I kind of get what you're trying to say, but I don't like the word.
I'm like
detached.
Okay. Like it's not a Straw Hat thing. It's a Luffy thing.
It's a One Piece thing, dude.
It's
The One Piece. The One Piece is real.
Luffy goal. Detached from the main Straw Hat stuff.
There's definitely nothing else in One Piece that feels like Marineford.
And that's the thing. And with Jump Kaisen's Shibuya arc, it feels like it fits hand in hand to what it built up to and to what follows after.
I mean, something that I think is so perfect about Shibuya that helps it compared to like Marineford and what you call it, especially Chimera Ant, is like everything before Shibuya leads up to Shibuya. Everything after Shibuya happens because of Shibuya.
Yeah, I mean,
like not everything, but
is Shibuya.
Marineford, sure, starts on Sabaody or Sabaody. I don't know. However, is it Sabaody?
Sabaody, yeah.
Yeah. It starts there, and you could say, they've been planting the seeds with, Ace and Dressrosa, and, getting to see Whitebeard a couple of times. Like, yeah, there's been a couple of things. But ultimately, up until Sabaody, it's a different adventure. It's not like a side mission like I would describe Chimera Ant. It's like a detour to Marineford and the time skip and everything, and then comes back out. And then post time skip, I mean, I would argue post time skip is more like, I mean, it's kind of, I'd say it's probably more post Sabaody. That's how I'm just gonna pronounce it. Post Sabaody as opposed to like post Marineford, because Luffy was the only one like directly affected by Marineford. Like,
Yeah.
But like Shibuya is the World War I of Jujutsu Kaisen arcs.
A lot happens. It's the thing with Shibuya is it's very high octane, and whenever the gas is slammed, it does not slow down. Like maybe, with how it's paced in the anime, like maybe one episode will be like paced slightly slower in terms of like what all's happening, but you just have so many crazy things happen back to back sequentially. It's insane. Like there is breathing room in the other 2 arcs that we've mentioned, maybe not a lot, but there's like slower stuff. There's some breathing.
Amazon Lily. You know,
Amazon
between like
Lily,
the expeditions.
Luffy running around, Impel Down, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying about Amazon Lily?
I was just saying, like, Amazon Lily, like, what am I thinking? Like 3 expeditions for Chimera Ant? Am I thinking of that correctly?
3 expeditions? Like how many times they?
Or is there? Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of us splitting it into 3. That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
No,
but there is downtime in because Chimera Ant's huge. But there's a lot of downtime in Chimera Ant.
Some of the pacing of the anime is slowly paced, but like there's a lot of downtime with Shibuya. It's only 23 episodes. I mean, Chimera Ant is like 60 plus. Reinford, that's like over.
Shibuya is even less than that because
18. Sorry, yeah, it's less than 20. It is 18 episodes, and even then, it takes like 1 episode or so to even like it's the start of it with Mechamaru, but like it takes its time to even start like the arc itself of like getting into Shibuya, because the moment Gojo steps foot in Shibuya, shit gets crazy, shit gets wild.
But it just starts and it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. There's a lot of consequences to not only just like characters here, but the world itself of JJK. Like we said, like also, another thing with Chimera Ants, like, I'm not trying to downplay it when I say this, but I mean, it feels like a side mission. Looking back on like, stuff did change, yeah, but I'm not okay. What am I trying to say here?
Kite became a girl.
Kite became a girl. Netero. Okay, all right. No. Netero dying. That was pretty big. I'll give it that. Netero dying. I mean that. Yeah. Okay. I won't downplay that. I won't downplay that angle. All these arcs, like these.
Because then we got introduced to my favorite Hunter x Hunter character by a mile. Periston, the rat.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything.
Oh,
I thought you forgot.
I didn't think I was supposed to.
No, you're supposed to comment and be like, "Oh yeah, I love Periston too," or you're supposed to be like, "Who?" And I could say Periston, the rat. Did you not read the script for today?
I'm sorry. It only came in at the last second. I didn't have time to look over it all.
Oh, you're right. My phone did die a little bit ago. That's okay. Whatever. I forgive you.
Yeah. So anyway, just back to your same about Shibuya. It's an arc that it has a lot of good fights, good character moments, great just the amount of iconic memes that come out of Shibuya from iconic moments, utterly insane. Just everything that built up to it, everything that happens afterward. It's just a really good high point of a strong series where everyone's showing up, everyone is showing off, and it works well. We kind of got sidetracked from the episode, but yeah.
So they fight. Toto hits a black flash after thinking of women in bikinis.
And his brother.
Yeah, and we get the iconic panel, and it's fun fights, and Mahito is crazy and fun. And shout out to all the voice actors, especially Mahito, for going absolutely insane. Miwa is there. Who cares?
Oh!
She cries, and that's kind of funny.
Wait, can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
Because you explain. All right, I'm gonna explain what I just. Because, all right, this is gonna involve stuff that's happening now, like actual big spoilers for the manga. So, so, and also the end of Shibuya. So at the end of Shibuya, Kenny shows up, and Miwa, as Brandon explained it, Miwa went and she basically pulled a goat. I didn't remember this. She went to hit Kenny with her sword and was like, "I'm putting my all into this." Yeah, and goes to hit him, and he just blocks it with little to no effort. And then that was a binding vow that meant that she could never swing her katana again. And they bring that up in the newest chapter of the manga. I had completely forgotten about that. It is incredible.
No, like I remember it, but like I didn't think that it was like a serious
Well,
like
you know,
binding vow.
Characters will say that all the time, where it's like, I'm gonna put my all into this. Like,
Yeah, I thought she was just trying really hard. Nah, she straight up made a deal with the cursed energy gods, got jobbed by Kenny, and now can never wield a sword again. Hilarious.
Just again, JJ.
We speaking French right now?
As great as JJK is, Greg certainly has made interesting decisions.
Greg certainly has made a lot of interesting decisions in this arc. The current manga arc, not Shibuya's peak. Greg certainly has made a lot of interesting decisions since Shibuya. You know, as much as I love Gojo versus Sukuna, I can't deny that.
For better or for worse, there is stuff that you could look at in ways that are not pleasant.
That's certainly one way of saying it.
I'm trying to think of what else to say on the episode itself.
I don't really have anything else, honestly.
I like when Toto clapped his ass cheeks to teleport. That was funny.
Hilarious. You love to see it.
Yeah, just getting to see the Boogie Woogie in action again. It's a good time because I don't think I've said it before. Hanami versus Yuji and Toto is one of my favorite 2v1s in anime. I love that fight. And this fight kind of has that energy, but just better.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you're this on the video, then obviously there's something you like. So make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Telling us what you thought about this episode. Join the Discord, link in description, for fun conversation about stuff. Thank you all for watching. We certainly hope that you all enjoyed, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.